Good morning. We're out for another adventure this morning. We are in northern Maryland. Right now we are at the boat ramp at Aberdeen Proving Grounds. It's a little after 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, June 19th. I haven't been up here before, so interested to see the top of the bay. We are at Aberdeen Proving Grounds. The boat ramp is over my shoulder here. There's no public access here, but I'm fortunate enough that I can get onto the installation and use the ramp for free. So just a little one ramp and a parking lot across the area. So nothing special here, but doesn't cost me anything. And I know my vehicle will be secure today as we go for a ride. I have not been up to the northern part of the bay today or in the past, so this is new riding for me. I'm curious about it. I've got the machine in here, and let's talk a little bit about our journey today. So we're gonna head out of Aberdeen Proving Grounds here and out into the bay, and we're gonna head north past the city of Havre De Grace, and we're gonna go into the Susquehanna River, and we're gonna go up about 10 miles to where the Conowingo Dam is. I'm curious what that looks like. Plan to get the drone up and we'll take a look. We're gonna come back out of the Susquehanna and back into the bay, and then we'll ride the northern port, and I think it's called Turkey Point Lighthouse that is on a peninsula there. So we'll ride over and check out that, and then back in here to Aberdeen Proving Grounds. So should be a nice little ride today. It's early, no wind so far, so hopefully it stays that way. I'm just curious to get out here and see what the water looks like and what the landscape looks like. Got the machine going. It's summer, it's June, so a lot of big rides coming up, trying to crank out content and explore things. So we're gonna get going today. So I'm gonna jump on the machine, get everything buttoned up, and we'll cast off and get going. I'll see you out on the water. All right, so we're loaded up, and I got the GPS fired up, and we are gonna head up the bay and see what we can see. So beautiful morning so far. Looks like it's about 6:40 in the morning, so we're gonna get underway here and head up and see what we can see. So hopefully we have a nice ride out and back. Again, I haven't done this ride before, so looked at it on the map and spotted it out, but we're gonna take a look. Okay, we are coming out of the top of the Chesapeake Bay and into the Susquehanna River. There's a town that sits here that's going to come into view for you here in a second. It's called Havre De Grace. The actual name is French, back to the American War of Independence from the British. The French General Lafayette is said to have come through here and said that the town and the harbor of Grace looked similar to a town and a town with water frontage in France, and so that's where the name comes from. Don't ask me to pronounce it in French, but that's what it is. So beautiful little town. Haven't spent much here. Local hero is from here, so if you're a baseball fan, Cal Ripken Jr. And his brother Billy Ripken are both from here. So we are coming out of the bay. It was a short little ride, and we are going to head up the Susquehanna River. Looks like there's some bridges. We're getting ready to go under here, so we will take a look. I'm trying to be a little bit cautious here. I'm looking at my chart and I'm at about 5.5 feet of water, but I kind of see rocks and different things up ahead. So having not run through here, I'm just taking it slowly. So this is kind of shallow. So seeing if we can pick our way through here, because the dam isn't too much further. But again, I am not. We're jumping all the way from like 3 feet to 6 feet. So far so good. And holy cow, I'm getting pelted with bugs. So we're just gonna take it easy, try and pick our way through here. And this water is not very clear, so that's not helping my cause either. Wow, great big old rock here. Yeah, I don't know about this, guys. Last thing I want to do is hit something. All right, I'm gonna shut this off and look around a little bit more. We may need to call an audible on this one. Yeah, I'm just struggling with what to do here. I'm just about to hit a rock. There's just rocks everywhere, as you can see all the way up. So I think I'm gonna call an audible. This isn't worth hitting anything or damaging the machine. So kind of bummed. I was hoping to see the dam, but I'm gonna head back down the river here, and we'll see what we can see. But yeah, there's just rocks, and hitting one of these doesn't sound like a good thing to do today. Yeah, I was just asking the fishermen behind me how far up they went. They said they don't go too much further, and they're an aluminum flat top bottom boat. So I guess bad on me for not researching this too well. So, but yeah, as you can see right here, there's some big rocks, and some of them are just under the surface. So that's all I need to do is get up there and hit something and get stuck, and nobody can come and help me out. So interesting. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna make it back up here to the safe zone, and then we can pick the pace back up. But you live and you learn, right? Here's a good example right here. This is like just below the surface. I'm in about 4 feet of water, so you bump into that, you're having a bad day. So I'm just easing through here. I got one finger on my reverse, and the depth gauge, we're bouncing between like 3 and 4 feet of water. So all right, the depth gauge is reading 6 and 7 feet again, so I feel a little better, relax a little bit. I'm trying to think what this reminds me of, and the only frame of reference to being up here on the Susquehanna up here reminds me of the James River in Richmond that actually also flows out towards the bay. So the upper parts of the James River, I have some family and spent some time up that way, and so this reminds me of that. Particularly, there's some upper areas where there's a lot of rocks and boulders and stuff like that that you can't get through. So, but still a beautiful morning. Lots of fishermen. I can see why as I'm riding down the river at speed, I'm catching bugs in the face, so I have to get some windshield wipers to keep them off my teeth. So we're gonna head back down. We'll see what else we can see, and we'll head back out into the bay and do the upper loop. I know there's the lighthouse that I definitely want to see, and we'll see what else we can find along the way. But machine's running great. We want to keep it that way. I've got another big ride on Saturday, so the last thing I need to do is be doing some fiberglass work or be down for the count in the middle of the summer. So I was mentioning the bugs. This is the GoPro that I had sitting next to the cooler there. And so you can see the bugs all over the front of this. So this is what's pelting me in the machine right now. So kind of comical, but lots of fishermen out. I guess lots of bugs are good for fish. All right, so we are heading back down the river, and so we're getting ready to come up on this series of bridges again. And so this looks like it's the railroad bridge. So I was saying there was a railroad track that paralleled the Susquehanna River. So this looks like one of the first ones here. And then there's this interesting structure. I don't know what that was. Obviously, it looks like it's rusted out. Maybe it was for railroad storage or something. But there is this island here. Looks like on the GPS here, it's called Garrett Island, and then this series of bridges that takes across the river. So this, I think, will be an interesting place to get the drone up and take a look and see what we can see. So I'm gonna get on the other side of this here, ride up a little bit, let you take a look, and then do some battery changes and get the drone up and see what we can see here. So definitely looks like a railroad crossing, and it looks like it's been here for a little while as well. And then this looks like a barge that's floating, and just some watercraft that are definitely in disrepair. So I don't know if this used to be some kind of marina or a warehouse in somebody's backyard, or what this was. But it looks like a big tetanus shot now. And surprisingly, we're in about 35 feet of water right here. So yeah, that's a nice structure. I wonder what that was. It looks like there's some other maybe marina or neighborhood marina up there, and then the next bridge obviously is automobiles, and I think the one after that is actually another bridge for railroads. So I'm gonna do some battery changes, and we'll jump back on this with a second, and we'll get the drone up and see what we see here. Well, you can hear there's a train going across this bridge here. So this is definitely a active train bridge, quite loud. I'm gonna put it here on the cooler and we'll take off. I'm definitely not having my best day. I got 2 strikes. So first, we couldn't get up to the dam, and second, I just lost the drone into the water. So I am not sure what happened. I was reviewing it on the GoPro video that I had set up, and looks like it just started to take off and went inverted and went into the water. I jumped up as quickly as I could, saw it in the water, and it was sinking, and I had the controls around my neck, so I couldn't jump in to get it with that, or maybe I should have. So I am bummed right now. So I paid for the DJI Air insurance, so I guess we'll see what comes of that. But man, I haven't had any problems with that. I don't know what happened. Looked like everything was okay. I've been running around for 10 or 15 minutes now looking to see if it was going to surface, but as I looked, I just saw it going down. So this is the last bridge before we go back out to the mouth of the bay, but I wanted to stop and talk about this for a minute. Kind of interesting looking. So it looks like this is fairly low, so if there was a sailboat or a bigger boat or a barge or something, this may need to open. So unlike some drawbridges, this one actually looks like it pivots from the middle. So if you look down through the center here, it looks like it's sitting on some kind of stanchion. I'm assuming there's some motors that causes the bridge to rotate and let boats go through. So I want to ride through here and just take a look underneath and see what we see underneath it. Yep, I can definitely see a sprocket up there, so I'm assuming there's a motor that turns that and lets it open. And then a lot of power lines on the outside of it, so interesting. Well, we're coming back out to the bay. I'm gonna putt in here and take a look at Havre De Grace, because I haven't been over here before, so I want to run in here and we'll take a look at it. So we're coming into a park right on the water frontage, and this is right at where the bay and the river meet. So we're about 6 feet of water. There's a lighthouse here and a sign, so right up here and see how shallow it gets, and maybe we can get a read on it. So the sign says here on the morning of May 30th, it says 1813, British forces under Admiral Cockburn landed, sacked, and burned the town. The principal defenses were 2 small batteries on Concord Point. The potato battery on high ground was manned to the last by John O'Neill. So you can see a cannon or a battery here. I guess that was the potato battery. 2 cannons trying to hold off the British here. That was pretty prominent in the War of 1812, the British coming ashore and sacking and burning colonial American towns. So nice little history, a lot of people walking around and just enjoying the day on this little park point here in Havre De Grace. Well guys, we're putting around here. I can't believe how shallow this is. I don't know if this is the bottom or whether this is just grass coming up, but yeah, hopefully you can see this. I'm in like 3 or 4 feet of water. It's grassy, which is good, but I was running up into there maybe an eighth or a quarter of a mile, and all of a sudden I looked down at my depth gauge and there was grass floating everywhere, and that's the last thing I want to do is suck up a bunch of grass into the motor or into the jet and get shut down. So I'm trying to head for bigger waters. So as I was riding the shoreline up here, I was kind of thinking to myself, it was interesting that it's very preserved, and there's just not a lot of houses or anything over there. It's just a lot of shoreline and trees, and so I think I discovered the reason why. I just cannot believe how shallow it is. And so as I went over there, there's some boats over there, but it's like bass boats and aluminum bottom boats. So if you come to the upper Chesapeake Bay, just know it is like, as you get past the Susquehanna, it is really shallow up here. So I'm showing about 5, and I'm ranging anywhere from like 2.5 to 5 feet. And I guess as I look at my chart here, right, there's kind of, it's showing these green areas that I guess I just kind of went through. So shame on me for, maybe I should have paid a little bit better attention to the chart, but, so you can just make it out over the tree line here. This is the Turkey Point Lighthouse. I don't know if just like trees and stuff are in front of it or not, but boy, that's a very difficult lighthouse to see. Maybe once upon a time or maybe at night it's helpful, but it's definitely not easy to make out right now. It's going behind the tree there. I'm a little underwhelmed. When I saw photos of it, I thought it was going to be something a little bit more significant than what it is. There it is again. So too bad we can't get the drone up and get an overhead shot of it, but that's the way that it goes. So in front of me here is the Elk River. So we're at the top of the bay, and so the bay, Chesapeake Bay, goes into the Elk River, and as you go up the Elk River, you get to the C&D Canal that takes you from Chesapeake Bay over to across Delaware to the Delaware Bay, and then out into the Atlantic Ocean. Guys, so I came out of the Elk River and headed southeast, and I am at the mouth of the Sassafras and the Chesapeake Bay. So I'm a little way up into the Sassafras. The Sassafras goes further upriver that way, and the bay is back behind you. Wanted to stop in here for a moment. Friend of the channel and my neighbor John Nilsson always gushes about the Sassafras River, and I guess he'd been up here quite a bit in his time on his boat. So John, here you go. Here's the Sassafras. I don't know when the last time you've been up here, but here it is. So we are in about 8 feet of water here. I guess I'm a couple hundred yards off the shore. Just dipping my finger in and putting some water on the tip of my tongue, it almost is fresh water. So down where I am on the Severn, closer to Annapolis, it's more brackish. Where I was at Smith Island a couple weeks ago, definitely a lot more salty. But pretty landscape here. Nice calm day, not much wind, really not any boaters or anything. So fish jumping and relatively flat. So from here we're gonna head south a little bit. The town of Betterton is gonna be on our left. And so then from Betterton, we're going to break to the west and head back across the bay and see what's on the other side and make our way back up to Aberdeen, closer to the boat ramp. But definitely more water here than at that very tippy top of the bay where all the grasses were. That was wild. So we'll get moving here a little bit and let you take a look at some of the shoreline. So we made it across from the eastern side over to the western side. The wind's starting to come up. Looks like it's coming from out of the south, so you can see the rollers coming in behind me a little bit. Over my left shoulder here, we've got a little bit of an island, so we're gonna keep heading north a little bit and go around this island and duck back in, and we should be back at the ramp. So it's been a nice ride this morning. Beautiful scenery, a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing in the central or the lower part of the bay, but nice to get out and see something different and some fresher water than the normal brackish or salty waters of the middle and lower bay. So we'll let you take a look at the shoreline as we ride around here and make the final turn to head into the ramp. right, so the ramp's over my shoulder here. Looks like somebody's on the ramp for the moment, so we'll take it on in a second and get it put up on the trailer. But just wanted to recap the day here. So we are in the northern part of the Chesapeake Bay, the very top part of the Chesapeake Bay. This is my first time up here on the water. So we left out at Aberdeen Proving Ground on the ramp over here on my shoulder. And we made our way up the western shore heading north. We went up into the Susquehanna. Not quite my day up there. You know, one, we kind of ran into the rock field. I was hoping to make it up to the Conowingo Dam and take a look at that, but that's kind of the way it goes. And then when we got down to the railroad tracks, that darn drone, I don't know what happened. I was looking at the video, and we'll take a look at it when we get home. Looked like it went inverted and into the water. So I've paid for the DJI insurance, so hopefully that'll come through and save me on there. So we came out of the Susquehanna back into the main bay, and I tried to head north, like due north to the very top of the bay, and we ran into a huge grass flat, which kind of alarmed me, but I guess environmentally is a really great thing that it's there. So we came out of that and continued to head east. We went up into the Elk River and then over into the Sassafras, and then made the circle back here to where we are. If you've made it this far, if you would, please do me a favor. Subscribe and like to the YouTube channel and give the video a thumbs up or a like. It definitely helps with the algorithm and helps other viewers find this, and I'd appreciate it. I put a lot of time into making these and collecting this and sharing it out there in YouTube world, so you'd be doing me a big favor with that. So with that, I'm gonna pull the camera down, and we're gonna head on into the shore, into the ramp, and get this thing back up on the trailer.